You are hiding something. You are hiding a memory, a failure, a heartbreak, a moment where you were weak or humiliated or abused. You think this memory is a crack in your character. You think it makes you damaged goods. You spend all your energy painting over the crack, trying to look normal, trying to look perfect. You are ashamed. In the 15th century, the shogun, Ashikaga Yoshimasa, broke his favorite tea bowl. It was a tragedy. The bowl was a masterpiece. He sent it away to be fixed. The craftsman stapled it back together with metal pins. It came back looking ugly. It looked fixed, but it looked broken. The shogun was disgusted. He ordered his craftsmen to find a better way. They didn't try to hide the cracks. They didn't try to make it look new. They filled the cracks with pure liquid gold. When the bowl returned, it was no longer just a bowl. It was a work of art. It was more beautiful, more resilient, and more valuable than the original, unbroken bowl. This is the art of Kintsugi, golden joinery. It is the Japanese belief that the break is not the end of the object's life. The break is the most important part of its history. Right now, you are holding your shattered pieces, trying to glue them with invisible tape. You are trying to be the old you again. But the old you is gone, and that is good, because the new you, the one held together by gold, is the only version of you that can survive the world. Today, we are going to stop hiding the scars. We are going to paint them gold. Are you ready to be whole? The myth of purity. You treat your life like a product on a supermarket shelf. You believe that to be valuable, you must be mint condition. No scratches, no dents, no history. When you go through a divorce or a bankruptcy or a depression, you feel like a damaged product. You think, I am worth less now. You try to hide the damage. You put on a fake smile. You avoid talking about the gap in your resume. You are worshipping the myth of purity. This myth is a lie. In nature, nothing is perfect. The most beautiful trees are the ones twisted by the wind. The most majestic mountains are the ones jagged from earthquakes. The Japanese philosophy of wabi-sabi embraces this truth. It teaches that beauty is found in things that are imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete. A plastic cup is perfect. It has no flaws. It is also cheap, soulless, and easily replaced. A handmade tea bowl is imperfect. It has ridges, bumps, and asymmetry. That is why it is priceless, because it has a story. When the shogun first held the repaired bowl, he didn't just see a bowl, he saw a survivor. He realized that the unbroken bowl was naive. It had never been tested. The repaired bowl had faced destruction and returned. This made it an object of respect, not pity. You are ashamed of your trauma because you think it makes you weak. But look at the physics of materials. Work hardening is a process where metal becomes stronger after it is hammered and deformed. The trauma did not make you weaker, it made you denser. The version of you that existed before the pain was innocent, yes, but innocence is fragile. The version of you after the pain is complex. You are not damaged goods. You are a work-hardened human. The only reason you feel weak is because you are spending all your energy trying to hide the gold. The glue of acceptance. How does Kintsugi actually work? You do not just sprinkle gold dust on the broken pieces. If you did that, the bowl would fall apart again. First, you must use a special adhesive called urushi lacquer. Urushi is a tree sap. In its raw form, it is toxic. It causes severe rashes and irritation if it touches the skin. The craftsman must handle this poisonous sap with extreme care to bond the shards together. The lesson is brutal. To heal the break, you must touch the poison. You are trying to skip the poison. You want to get straight to the healing part where you feel better. You want to skip the part where you sit in the dark and admit, I am broken and it hurts. You use distraction. You use alcohol. You use busy work. You are running from the urushi. But without the sticky, painful sap of radical acceptance, the gold has nothing to stick to. The Japanese call this ukeireru, to accept with open arms. It is not passive resignation. It is active recognition. It is looking at the divorce papers, or the diagnosis, or the empty bank account and saying, this is real. Most people live in the land of if only. If only I hadn't sent that text. If only I had worked harder. If only he hadn't lied. This is a fantasy world. In the real world, the bowl is already shattered on the floor. As long as you live in if only, you are leaving the shards scattered on the ground. You cannot fix what you do not claim. The shogun had to admit the bowl was broken before he could order it to be fixed. If he had pretended it was still whole, he would have been a madman drinking from an empty hand. You must stop pretending. The first step of Kintsugi is to gather the pieces, the ugly, sharp, jagged pieces, and hold them in your hands. You must apply the urushi. It will burn, it will irritate, but it is the only way to make the pieces become one again. The pain of acceptance is the glue of recovery. The gold dust. The lacquer has dried. The bowl is whole again, but it looks ugly. It is covered in dark, jagged lines of scar tissue. Now comes the moment of magic. The craftsman takes fine gold powder. He brushes it gently over the lacquer while it is still tacky. The dark scars suddenly ignite. They become shining veins of light. He does not try to paint over the crack to hide it. He paints into the crack to highlight it. He is making a bold statement. Look here. Look at where this bowl was destroyed. This is the most beautiful part. This is the shift from recovery to discovery. Most therapy stops at recovery. It tries to get you back to baseline. Kintsugi goes past baseline. It aims for post-traumatic growth. Psychologists have found that while some people are crushed by trauma, PTSD, others actually bounce back higher than they were before. They become wiser, more empathetic, and more driven. Why? Because they used the gold dust. The gold is the meaning you assign to the suffering. If you lose your business, the glue is accepting you are broke. The gold is realizing that you now have no fear of failure because you have already faced the worst. You are now fearless. If you fight a battle with addiction, the glue is getting sober. The gold is the ability to help other addicts in a way a normal person never could. Your brokenness becomes your qualification. The perfect person cannot lead. They have no gravity. They have no depth. People do not trust perfection. They trust scars. When you hide your past, you are throwing away your gold. You are robbing the world of your wisdom. The shogun realized that the repaired bowl was no longer just a vessel for tea. It was a teacher. Every time he drank from it, the gold lines reminded him, entropy is inevitable. Survival is beautiful. You must stop looking at your trauma as a stain on your resume. It is your unique value proposition. It is the thing that separates you from the herd of innocent, untested sheep. You have survived the wolf. Wear the bite mark like a medal. The unbreakable vessel. There is a physical fact about Kintsugi that most people had no Christian you want that you are created. The unbreakable vessel. There is a physical fact about Kintsugi that no worry more than never finally build and work on the change that is a physical. The unbreakable vessel. There is a physical fact about Kintsugi that no worry more than making the true that are never find. There is a physical fact about Kintsugi. You know add this video that maybe immediately march true from that face that you need start. You know how to use the bowl unmade. The show is the girled being. The unbreakable vessel. It is the physical fact about Kintsugi that most people miss. The mixture of lacquer and gold dust dries to a hardness that is often superior to the original ceramic. If you drop a Kintsugi bowl a second time, it will rarely break along the gold lines. The gold lines are now the strongest part of the structure. The trauma has become the armor. This is the concept of anti-fragility. Nassim Taleb coined this term to describe things that gain strength from disorder. A candle is fragile. The wind blows it out. A fire is anti-fragile. The wind makes it bigger. Before your trauma, you were a candle. You were terrified of the wind. You lived in constant anxiety of what might go wrong. What if I lose my job? What if I get sick? But once the worst has happened and you have rebuilt yourself with gold, you stop fearing the wind. You become the fire. Think of the unbroken man. He has had a perfect life. Rich parents, good grades, easy job, perfect health. He looks strong, but he is terrifyingly fragile. He lives in terror of a scratch. One bad day could destroy his identity because he has no evidence that he can survive it. Now think of the Kintsugi man. He has been bankrupt. He has been divorced. He has buried loved ones. He is covered in gold lines. He walks into the room with a different energy. He is loose. He is calm. Why? Because he knows the worst-case scenario, and he knows he can survive it. You cannot intimidate a man who has already died and come back to life. The world is a chaotic place. It is a hammer that is constantly swinging. If you try to remain perfect, you will eventually be shattered. But if you embrace the Kintsugi process, the hammer loses its power. The hammer strikes you, and you simply add more gold. You become richer with every blow. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And you start saying, "Thank you for the gold." The shogun drank from his repaired bowl for the rest of his life. He didn't hide it in a cupboard. He displayed it. He understood that the bowl was no longer just a container for tea. It was a testament to the fact that destruction is not a dead end. It is a door, and you have already walked through it. The Museum of Scars. Imagine a museum filled with perfect statues, smooth marble, flawless faces, untouched by time. It is beautiful, but it is cold. It feels like a graveyard. Now imagine a museum filled with Kintsugi pottery, bowls that have been shattered and rebuilt, swords that have chips in the blade from great battles, armor that is dented from saving a life. This museum is warm. It feels alive, because every object in it has a soul. You are the curator of your own life. Right now, you are keeping your best exhibits in the basement, under a dusty sheet. You are hiding your divorce. You are hiding your failure. You are hiding your grief. You are hoping that if you hide them well enough, people will think you are one of the perfect marble statues. But you are wrong. People do not connect with marble. Marble is hard. You slip off it. People connect with the cracks. The cracks provide a grip. They allow others to hold on to you. When you share your struggle, you are not asking for pity. You are offering a map. You are saying, I have been through this dark forest. I broke my leg here. I fell down there. And look, I made it out. To a person currently lost in that forest, your scar is not ugly. It is a beacon of hope. It is proof that survival is possible. The shogun Ashikaga Yoshimasa never looked at a perfect bowl the same way again. He realized that perfection is just a lack of history. He chose the gold. You have the same choice today. You can spend the rest of your life buying white paint to cover your cracks, terrified that the paint will chip. Or you can buy the gold lacquer. You can own the break. You are not broken. You are simply in process. The fire has burned you. The hammer has struck you. Good. That means the forging is almost complete. Don't hide the work. So tell me, what is the one crack in your life, a past failure or struggle, that you have been trying to hide? And how can you reframe it as a strength today? If you are ready to paint it gold, leave a comment. Show the scar.